Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Witty Comic Book Roundup. We've already covered this week's X-Men books as well as a couple others. Now it's time to move on to this week's Gang War Times. Kicking things off, we've got Miles Morales' Spider-Man number 16. Now, I know usually the Gang War books have been falling into the Spider-Man video. That said, there's a decent chunk of Spider-Man books as well, so Gang War gets largely its own video. And Spider-Man books that aren't Gang War get largely their own video. So, where we left off, Spider-Man had teamed up with the Cape Killers and had also managed to get some help of his own in the form of Miss Marvel, Starling, and Shift to deal with the combined threat of Hobgoblin and Rabble. Rabble has been upgrading Hobgoblin's tech. But Scorpion was leading most of Miles' backup in dealing with Hobgoblin's henchmen. While Miles, with an assist from his Uncle Aaron, Prowler, was as well, and Miss Marvel, Cape Killer member Gust, we're dealing with Hobgoblin and Rabble. So the issue begins. Miss Marvel, Gust, and Miles are face to face with Hobgoblin and Rabble. Rabble focuses on Miles while Hobgoblin deals with the rest. Hobgoblin has apparently, thanks to Rabble, gotten an army of goblin drones. Outside, Scorpion and the others are dealing with Hobgoblin's hired help. And Scorpion basically says, hey, look, when has a goblin ever kept his promise? Doesn't matter the color. When? So let's just get to the part where we stab him in the back and team up against him. And he's also kind of saying, hey, I can maybe get you guys in on the Cape Killers and have your records expunged. But Spider-Man and his crew are inside dealing with Rabble and Hobgoblin. Gus has been injured and is pushed out of the fight, but turns out that Scorpion's gambit worked, and the rest of Spidey's team come in and to help out Miles against Hobgoblin and Rabble. However, Hobgoblin gets betrayed by Rabble. Apparently, Madame Mask has made her an offer and has called her to Central Park. But Hobgoblin's got one last trick up his sleeve. The entire lower level of the building that they're in is lined with pumpkin bombs. Miles and his crew manage to escape. The building blows up. Agent Gao pops up and basically insists on arresting Spider-Man, but he's like, no, nah, I gotta go deal with what's going on in Central Park. And the rest of his team actually say, hey, look, you take care of that, we'll handle this. And that is where the issue ends. Ready to be continued in our next book, Amazing Spider-Man number 43. Now, good issue of Miles Morales. I really dug the whole speech that Scorpion gives about when has a goblin, regardless of color, ever kept his word, which does feel like a bit of foreshadowing for what's to come with Norman Osborn, who is currently the Gold Goblin. Anyways, so moving on to Amazing Spider-Man number 43. Where we left off, Madame Mask and the Magia were in Central Park, as was Janice Lincoln and her crew. And Spider-Man's team of mostly heroes is, well, getting ready to crash the party. The issue opens, though, at Harlem Hospital Center. Spider-Man is looking in on his friend, on Robbie Robertson's son, who is in fact one of Peter Parker's best friends. Basically saying he's gonna make sure that, he's gonna do the right thing, basically. But he joins up with Daredevil, Miles, Spider-Woman, She-Hulk, and Tombstone, and they head to Central Park as the fight begins. Digger goes after Silvermane and Count Nefaria. Rabble goes after Lady Octopus. Beetle goes after Madame Mask, but she's got some tech that manages to take down both Beetle and Digger. But the AIM agents working under her are being pushed aside by someone, She-Hulk, as Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, and Daredevil and She-Hulk as well show up. Tombstone goes after Shotgun. After all, Shotgun's the one that shot him. Spidey manages to damage Madame Mask's tech. Daredevil goes after Silvermane. Miles and Rabble go for yet another rematch. Tombstone manages to break the Magia sigil that Shotgun has, and Shotgun reveals that he is in fact a federal agent. Well, he was one. Sent to assassinate the gang lords of New York. Mask got to him first and used the sigil to control him. Tombstone ain't buying it, but Shotgun explains that they had profiles of all the crime bosses, and Tombstone was actually slowing down and playing it safe. They were much more worried about what was becoming of his daughter. But Beetle and her people are hanging back a bit to, basically let Spider-Man and company deal with Madame Mask's people. And then when it seems they're good and truly focused on Madame Mask and her people, Beetle and her crew rejoin the fight. But Tombstone stops Beetle, pulling off her wings, explaining that whoever wins today is going to own everything, and there's going to be a monster to keep it. And that's not Janice. That's Tombstone. And that is where the issue ends. That was, I have to admit, being surprised that Tombstone went after his daughter, honestly, just to stop her, but I'm stopping her to save her. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Gang War Deadly Anthem Kung Fu, number 3, wrapping up the miniseries. Where we left off, Shang-Chi had managed to get Hydra, the Inner Demons, and the Yulan clan all to attack him. It was supposed to be Mr. Negative, Diamondback, and Lady Yulan, but none of them actually went to that fight. So Shang-Chi took out the champions of each, kind of sending a message of, hey, yeah, bring it. Yeah, I don't have the 10 rings right now, but I can still take that. I can still take people down if need be. The issue begins with a flashback to 20 years previously during Shang-Chi's training under his father. But in the present, Shang-Chi is basically telling everyone in Chinatown, get inside, stay inside, close up shop, close your businesses. We'll try and get this taken care of as soon as possible. One of the citizens speaks out, and he explains that the Commander Feng is doing so with the intention of keeping Chinatown safe with the intention of expanding into the entirety of the city. But Shang-Chi's at the moment estranged girlfriend shows up. Want to know about the fight with between the Inner Demons, Hydra, and the Yuan clan. But she suggests that when it comes to a way around what's going on, he could not fight Spider-Man. But basically, he's got a plan, though. So he goes to the sorcerers of the Five Weapons Clan or Five Weapons Society have created a defensive shield around Chinatown, except for the tower that Shang-Chi lives in. And Shang-Chi's the only person in the building, and he's standing on the roof. So Mayor Cage, Danny Rand, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, She-Hulk, and Tombstone all go in to deal with Shang-Chi, starting with She-Hulk. But Cage and She-Hulk charge Shang-Chi, and, well, apparently he's got a paper roof, which Tombstone appreciates. Spidey and Shang-Chi fight it out, with Shang-Chi taking advantage of Spidey's web shooters to web up both Spidey and Tombstone. But then we get Danny Rand versus Shang-Chi. Even without the Iron Fist, Danny Rand is still a very talented martial artist. So yeah. However, forces of Hydra, the Inner Weapons, or the Inner Demons gang, and the Yuan clan all show up, and so Spidey and his team have to deal with them. And Commander Feng and Shang-Chi duke out over who's worthy of the 10 rings. The rings choose Shang-Chi, and he deals with his enemies. And Commander Feng tells Shang-Chi that this world should be his. But he also reflects on the fact that both he and his father are focused largely on honor, but they simply define it differently. But Chinatown's safe, and Shang-Chi's somewhat estranged girlfriend suggests that convinces Shang-Chi, I should say, to help Spidey and the heroes deal with what's going on in Central Park. And while the miniseries is over, the plot thread wraps up in the next issue of Amazing Spider-Man. So, good series. It was cool to see Shang-Chi. Sadly it's rare that he pops up, which really sucks, especially because I like Shang-Chi's movie, and I kind of like the character. So, yeah. Moving on, though, to our last book for the moment. We've got Night Thrasher, #1. I cannot remember for the life of me if this is supposed to be a miniseries or an ongoing, but quick refresher on Night Thrasher. Co-founder of, or not co-founder, founder of the New Warriors. Ran the Terror Foundation until his death at the beginning of Civil War. Recently came back, or was brought back through cosmic shenanigans. Thrash has the basically has the generic Batman origin. Rich kid who who lost his parents in tragedy, decides to do something to make sure no one else has to go through the same thing. So the issue begins. Dwayne Taylor, Night Thrasher, returns to New York for the funeral of Andrew Cord, the man who practically raised him. But Dwayne's at the funeral. Silhouette gives a moving eulogy, which Dwayne compliments her on. And apparently, though, he still has a grave at that graveyard. But Thrash explains that he wants to meet everyone runs the Taylor Foundation at the Taylor Foundation's office. A group of kids in hoodies are seen outside the building. Dwayne explains that he's shutting the Taylor Foundation down. Silhouette is especially not happy with this idea, but Dwayne says yes, he can't keep living in the shadow of the past, and neither can Silhouette. He died. The Taylor Foundation should have died with him. A city council member comes to talk to Dwayne. Apparently, the Taylor Foundation helped him and his family when they emigrated to the U.S. from Congo. Meanwhile, at a local department store, the kids in the hoodies basically do a quick smash and grab, leading to security and police going after them. But they run off into the alleyway. Thrash tries to catch up with one of them, but kid ditches his hoodie. Dwayne sees where they went. The lead officer responding kind of seems to echo the recently and debunked claims of organized shoplifting crews. But yeah, the book itself also does a bit to kind of perpetuate that. But Dwayne heads back to basically where he keeps his Night Thrasher armor. Silhouette shows up while he's looking at a picture of the New Warriors, thinking about the good days of the team. He even suggests that Silhouette come with him when he's leaving, but he's at least got to do what he can with this current issue. And Thrash basically goes where he saw the kids turn when they were running. Apparently, these kids are led by someone referred to as the OG. Thrash is looking into is trying to figure out who's behind all this when he's attacked by seemingly the OG. As he fights the OG, though, turns out that the OG is none other than fellow founding New Warrior, Rage, who gives him shit about basically just, he left, he came back, then he left again. Excuse me. But Rage beats the holy hell out of Dwayne. Dwayne returns to the Taylor Foundation and has decided that, yeah, He's actually not going to be going anywhere after all. And perhaps he changed his mind about the other foundation. But he's got work to do. We have a backup story focusing on Silhouette. Basically, so Silhouette, as her father was dying in the hospital, she used her Dark Force powers and went to, I presume, the raft to briefly break out her brother, Midnight's Fire. Mainly so that he could be there to see their dad before their dad passed. And the family's together as their dad passes, and so it returns Midnight's Fire to prison and he even figures that, hey, she even tells him that she couldn't get him out for good, but he says that's fine. I don't belong out there. I belong in here. But Silhouette, with her father's passing, she'll have to learn a new way to shine, and that is where the issue ends. Good start. As I said, I'm not sure. I can't remember for the life of me if this is a miniseries or an ongoing. If it's an ongoing, cool. If it's a miniseries, that's fine too. We'll find out. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Mastodon, Patreon, PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.